All right, we are live. This is a crazy day. Appears that we've had a flash crash. We call these black swan events. We're gonna take a look at like what's actually happening, why all this went down. I don't know, man. We just got to get into this. I came on a little early just to talk with you guys, try to figure this whole thing out. But and it is pretty crazy what we're seeing in the market right now. Just gonna let a few people come in here while we get up and running. Let me just share this with the community. All right, let's just pull it up. Robinhood is rejecting buys. Yeah, I've heard that some places you can't buy right now. I think there's a little bit of a chaos right now. I know people are kind of wondering what's going on. Let's just take a look and see if we can figure this out. All right. 3 billion vanishes with crypto within an hour. Ethereum nosedive over 10%. XRP cratered nearly 11%. Solana wasn't far behind. So this is like a few hours ago, right? This was 49 minutes ago. And then of course, 250 million wiped from the crypto space, 300 billion wipes. I mean, there are some things pointing today. So if you're not familiar with what happened this morning, let's just get through it. Okay. What happened at 10:57 a.m. Eastern time? Donald Trump canceled his meeting with China and said massive tariff increases are coming. 40 minutes later, the S&P erased $1.2 trillion of market cap. This is a big buying opportunity. Let us explain. So this is kind of what happened in the stock market, and this kind of led us in the crypto market. Okay, so here's the statement that President Trump posted. He accused China of lying and imposing export controls on rare earth materials or metals. Trump canceling his meeting in 2 weeks of China's President Xi and said massive tariff increase are coming. So he did a post, and in his post, they're highlighting they want to impose export controls on every element of production having to do with rare earths. I've always felt that they have been lying in wait, and now, as usual, I have been proven right. And he also says massive increase on tariffs on Chinese products coming to the United States. And of course, just to highlight rare earths here, rare earths have been important for Trump between Ukraine deal and US-China trade deal. Trump has prioritized rare earths. These metals are crucial for the production of weapons, chips, AI, and strategic leverage. The US gets 70% of its rare earths from China. And so this was, I guess, a sticking point for the Trump and his administration. When the first US-China trade deal was signed on May 12th, rare earths were a critical component. Now Trump claims that China is attempting to impose. Anyways, so you had this massive canceling of the meeting. Okay. Then you had panic in the regular markets. And then you had institutional panic in the crypto markets. And once enough panic starts to happen where people think that the market is going to be going down in a massive way due to, things that are out of the market's control, like things like this, one stop loss got hit after another, and the entire market flash crashed. The entire market flash crashed. So let me just show you this. So like at one point, this looked real bad. I mean, it still looks bad. Don't get me wrong, but like 30 minutes ago, this looked a little worse. Okay, so XRP is down 25% right now, but XRP got down to some crazy levels. Let me see. I saw a post. Yeah, here, check this out. On Kraken, XRP went to $1.57. On Binance, it went down to $1.19. Everyone's asking for $1 XRP. Looks like some people were wishing really hard and got their wish. Just absolutely crazy day, man. Crazy day. And here are some of the other assets when they dipped. I mean, look at this. Sui went down to $1.10. $1.10. 70% dip on Sui in a day. Unreal prices. I'm kind of speechless. I mean, it isn't. Well, here, let me just get to you some of your comments, guys, because we already have 1,000 people in here. I think people are trying to figure out what's going on. Let's just see what you guys are saying here. Leo says, oh my God, I'm gobbling up. Hello, Sensei. It's been tough with internet right now. Sounds like Leo's trying to just get on. I just bought on Robinhood. So Tony says Robinhood is working right now. Leo says $1.80 XRP. I know I sold some other assets and bought more XRP. I'll be totally transparent. Lenny, I think we kind of talked a little bit about what's going on. We're still going to get into this. Absolutely. Jay, it's good to see all of you. I'm just sorry it's under these circumstances of the flash crash. Yes, things are glitching, guys. So if you're trying to buy and it's not working, cancel the orders, try again. That's what I had to do a few times, but I was able to get some of my orders through on Coinbase. Cody says the big reset is happening now. Always happens on the weekend when stock exchanges are closed. Yeah, it was a pretty bad day. I think maybe that's why. I mean, I would imagine going into the weekend, if you are a financial institution that believed through the weekend the market was going to get worse, you are going to sell everything that you can. I think that's what you saw. I don't think that was retail selling. I think retail went along for the ride. I think that was mainly institutions just getting out and bigger whales. The Nomad Partnership says, hi from the UK, bought the dip. Love to hear that, man. I did too, brother. Great to see you. I hope you're doing well. Chill says he tried to buy at the bottom, all rejections. Yeah, man, it was kind of crazy there for a second. Imagine selling at 1,000 XRP and then buying back 2,000 at 150. You know what, Joe? Like, it all sounds good. It all sounds good, but very few people. I mean, seeing a crash like this, we haven't seen a crash like this in years, right? In years. So it's not something like, we do talk on this channel about a black swan event or something happening in the market that we just can't see and we can't adjust for. And, you know, this is one of those things where something was said about US-China relationships, and that's a big deal. And that thing collapsed, you know, that led to over $1.2 trillion being lost in the stock market and panic selling in the crypto market. I mean, it's not unheard of. It's unfortunate. It's going to happen again. You know, it's not one of those things that, you know, you can really see on a chart and plan for. Let's see here. Mo says, will this stop, buy, and sell happen when all-time highs hit? Will this stop, buy, and sell happen? Well, there's always going to be buying and selling, my friend. That's what makes a market. What's up, Game of Cats? Good to see you. YouTube has a better live feed. Okay. I wonder if I should just, what's it called? I'm asking for donations, streamer. I think we're all asking for donations at this point, my friend. I think we all would like to load up on more. We got Ariana here keeping the chat safe. Appreciate if you could show her some support and appreciation. H-bar, man, everything, dude, everything. Let's just take a look again, guys. Let's take a look here, okay? So, like, XRP, look at this chart. Oh my God. It's painful. It only has it to $1.84 here on Coin Market, but $2 to $1.80. Wow. Just pretty intense. Tether's still there, of course. Dogecoin down 30, Cardano down 30. Chainlink down 27%, Stellar down 28%, Avalanche down 32%. Let me just say this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how all of this is going to pan out, but I do know that this has nothing to do with the technology and adoption of cryptocurrency. Let's just be absolutely clear. This was something completely nothing to do with crypto. Forced institutions and whales to dump because they were fearful that the markets were going to go into some turmoil here, right? This is something totally not to do with blockchain itself, the adoption of blockchain, the clarity, nothing like that. So please, I understand that this is shocking. If you've never been through an event like this, like if you've never been through an adjustment in the crypto cycle, this can be very scary. This can be very scary. And I understand that. The first times it happened to me, I was panicking. I didn't know what to do. Now, when these things happen, I just take a deep breath and buy. It's all you can do. Being able to buy XRP $1 off per token, I did sell, $8,000 worth of other things to move it into XRP. If XRP remains at these prices, I'll probably find some more money to kind of shift over. But man, just crazy. All right, let me see some of these comments. I mean, they're coming in fast and steady here. Just to kind of catch everybody up, because I know there's a lot of people that joined. Okay, so it appears this all kind of kicked off this morning. This is what the Kobayashi letter is saying, and I'll pull up some additional information to back this up here. Hold on. Okay, here. Let's go to this first. Okay. Let me get an update. Let me get an update here. All right, while this is updating, let's just go to this, okay? 10:57 a.m. Eastern time. The president of the United States, Donald Trump, canceled a meeting with China and said massive tariff increases are coming. 40 minutes later, the S&P erased $1.2 trillion in market cap. This is a buying opportunity. Let us explain. This is the statement, the tweet that was posted. Trump canceled his meeting in 2 weeks with President Xi, president of China, and said massive tariff increases are coming. And so this is the tweet. This is where he said it. And this is kind of what started the movement, the selling, right? And then you got to understand, financial institutions, when you're like a whale and you have all of this crypto or you have it in certain things, they're going to set all these stop losses for you. Okay. And like a lot of people set their own stop losses on different exchanges and whatever. But you have to understand, once you start hitting certain levels, right? When it drops below a certain level, then that's going to sell. And then when you hit the certain level, that's going to sell. And then you just get this collapse of the price, right? You have all of this massive selling. Now, if you can time it really nicely on the bottom, right? You can pick up a lot of crypto for cheap. All right. And I know this sucks. I know your portfolio was just cut in half. I know life's not fair. I know these things are, but take a deep breath, focus on the technology, and we're going to get through it together. All right. Curtis is here. Great to see you, Curtis. I heard China threatened the US. Listen, it's very complicated, man. I wouldn't begin to know where to start. Obviously, when you have the two biggest economies globally going at each other, that's going to be problems, right? And we are where we are at this point, and we don't have much control over what happens next, right? But I think what you have this, you have like the shutdowns in the government shutdown in America. You also have ETFs are kind of being pushed back now because of the government shutdown, right? I was reading all these things. Hold on, let me pull this up here. Yeah, here you go. This is what I was reading. Hold on, give me a second. Let me explain this. Markets, including crypto, crashed today, preliminary due to President Trump's announcement of massive 100% tariff on Chinese imports, escalating the U.S. and China trade war and surprising fears of major disruptions and an economic slowdown. These tariffs were accompanied by the cancellation of the upcoming meeting with the Chinese president, and came in response to China tightening export controls on rare earth minerals, which are vital to tech and manufacturing sectors. The sell-off was exacerbated by weak corporate earnings. So this is also something else. Rising bond yields, persistent inflation worries, and high volatility across both traditional and crypto markets. Okay, so we've talked about this a lot, guys. When you have weak corporate earnings, what does this mean? It means companies are not making as much money as they used to. Why are they not making as money as they used to? Well, there's a factor of things happening here, but a few of these things are simple. When you're paying hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs by American companies, that is less money that the company is actually going to have for earnings. Okay, pretty simple. When you are a company and you're having to spend, right, or put out all of this additional money, you have to raise the prices of some of your things, right? Because now you have these tariffs, whether they're 20 or 30 or 100%, whatever they are, things are more expensive now. Okay. And people, because they already are kind of don't want to spend the money, those people are not spending any additional money that they don't have to. They're not going on vacation. They're not going to whatever their favorite shop are. You know, people are tightening their wallets. So you have a mixture of all of these things happening. You also have rising bond yields, persistent inflation. Inflation's going up. The job market is worse. All of these things together have led to today's events. All right. Now, how do we fix this? How do we get out of this? I don't think there's an easy answer or a solution. Personally, I believe we need to fix whatever this trade war thing is that we have. This is obviously hurting the economy long term than helping it. So we need to come to a resolution. If that were to happen, that would help markets, in my opinion. But when countries are constantly under threat of new tariffs, that's a hard thing to do and plan for in the future. All right. I know some of you might not agree with what I'm saying. That is just my personal feelings. All right. All right. Mostly margin calls. Yeah, that was part of it. That was part of it, man. Do you think it'll go down more? I don't know. We pretty much had the panic selling. We had the panic selling. Usually they'll correct to the upside, but we're entering a new territory here, right? There's been a lot of problems with the economy over the last few months. Those problems are becoming larger, and those larger problems are seeping through into investors, and investors are worried. Usually November, December, October, November, December are usually good months, especially in bull markets. There's just a lot of other events that are happening currently that people are wary of. Long squeeze, somebody said, they want you out before the massive pump. Is this, I mean, I guess there are some people that believe this is all pre-planned. This is happening for a reason. You know, I have no idea. I'm not allowed in those meetings, you know? But hey, I wouldn't put it past any banks or financial institutions or government to do those types of things. Toby says he just got liquidated, lost about 5K. Toby, sorry to hear that, man. Falcotti says China did this. I'd say we all did this. I think there's a lot of blame to go around, right? I don't think you can just say this is all China. I think the US has a part to play. China has a part to play. Other countries have a part to play. It's a much larger problem than just rare earths, right? It's de-dollarization. You know, it's a new payment system that's outside of the US dollar. A lot of things happening here. Yeah, guys, like I know, I get it. These things can be scary, right? A lot of us have put our entire net worth into digital assets because we believe in the technology. And when markets don't go the way that we think they will go, it scares us. You know, I would say don't make a decision based on fear. You know, take a deep breath, maybe take the day and think about it clearly before you make those decisions. Obviously, if it's a big financial decision, talk with a financial advisor. What do they say? Where do they see it going? I think this all comes back and even more, but I get why some people are scared. All right. Robert, I see your comment. You know, there's some truth. There's some truth there. So Bernie Belgard says that it's technology can't be denied, right? So listen, guys, This has nothing to do with the technology. Okay. This has nothing to do with the technology. This is to do with financial institutions and whales setting stop losses. This is massive panic selling by those institutions, hitting those stop losses, and the market just got liquidated. All right. It happens. It's happened a lot. It's happened a lot. It happens less these days because we have a more regulated market globally, but it's still happening. Okay. Just it has nothing to do with the technology. All right. Lee says makes you feel alive. All right, Lee. All right. I like it, Lee. Anthony says art of war. There's a lot of philosophers in the chat today. I like it. I like it. It's good to see everybody. I mean, I'm sorry it's under these circumstances, but it is still really nice to see all of you. Curtis says, Sensei, the tinfoil hat tells me it was planned for seeding the institutional ETFs before they go live. That would be some shit. That would be crazy. Dude, you never know. See, the thing with large financial institutions, they got money to burn, right? And they might burn a few $1 billion if they can gain hundreds of billions of dollars, right? So you start to wonder, is this part of a bigger plan? Not to sound, but you might be right. Powerful says, I'm so fucked right now. Oh, excuse my language. I do apologize. I was reading. Sorry about that. I'm so effed right now. I'm so effed up right now. I don't have any money to buy more. I feel you, man. I feel you. XRP is on sale. Heck yeah. Buy broken stocks, coins, tokens, not broken companies. Time to buy. Speaking about this, so my life over the last few years has gotten just more and more like I don't really have a great personal life to speak of. I don't have a lot to do outside of researching crypto and the technology and trying to better understand every single thing that I can. And what I do know is there are way too many crypto companies right now, and there are not enough use cases. Okay. And I think it's all of House of Cards. It is all a house of cards. You have to understand is we are going to approach some type of adjustment in the market, whether you call that a bear market or a period where the market goes down and sideways. We are going to figure this, we are going to get into this in the next few months. Okay. If the people are right that we're still on 4-year cycles and we go down and we have another bear cycle for a few years, 90% of the tokens that you are invested in right now probably won't make it. Unless they are a Ripple, Stellar, HBAR, companies that actually have money that's incoming, that they can pay their team, that they can continue to develop. Most of the stuff that you're investing in AI right now, unless it really takes off, won't make it. Most of the stuff, gaming won't make it. Some of this real world asset projects that promise the world won't make it. There are only going to be a handful of companies that make it through the next 5 years. Plan accordingly. Seriously. Clive Chang, thank you so much for the $4.99. I appreciate you, Clive. I don't know which part you liked, man, but I'm glad you liked it. There are so many comments. I'm trying to keep up. I think VeChain has a lot of utility, and I think VeChain could be VeChain probably will be one of the companies that make it. Yes. But you just need to look, if you're really worried about this, go find out how much money the actual crypto that you're invested in, how much money does the company actually make? How much are they paying their team? How much is their runway? Can they make it through a bear market? Find out these things. Because if you don't, you shouldn't be surprised when they find, when they wind up not making it. Like, you shouldn't be surprised at all. Does anyone else? Travis says, does anyone else think XRP will be expensive on Monday? I'm convinced. Man, could this be the weekend? Could this be the weekend? I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I gotta make it. I think I gotta make a tinfoil hat for all this. Man, we got almost 3,000 people in the chat today. Great to see everybody. If you guys, I know it's a tough day. If you want to support the channel, you can like the chat, you can share the chat. If not, no worries. I understand. PK says smash the like button. PK, I appreciate you. Let's get into a few other things, guys. I know there's a lot of people here wondering like what's going on still. President Trump, so let's just go through it one more time and then we're going to get into some other news, but I'll come back in the chat. We'll talk, okay? So major causes behind today's crash. President Trump's threat on the confirmation of 100% tariffs on China triggered a sharp risk off on all markets. So this wasn't just crypto, it was stock market too, and other markets. Crypto assets plunged. Bitcoin, major altcoins, ETH, XRP, Solana dropping 10 to 30% as trade wars fear sparked widespread liquidations. Over $6.5 billion. Investors feared reduced global trade, higher company costs, and lower profits, leading technology and financial stocks seeing the steepest losses. You got to understand also too that most of the economy here, like most of the stock market, is invested into 7 companies, right? And if anything were to affect one or two of those companies, it could have a catastrophic outcome on the entire market. And I think that's what you're seeing playing out right now. Okay. Bond yield surge. So this will, this will be good for the Jake Claver domino theories of the world, making equities less attractive than fixed alternatives, adding further selling pressure. In the crypto sector, the crash was further fueled by ETF outflows, significant leverage positions, liquidations. This is what I was talking about. And profit taking by large holders and whales. U.S. government shutdown, uncertainty, delayed official economic reports, and weak consumer sentiment contributed to already fragile market confidence. So that is the reason we are here, ladies and gentlemen. It is all up from here. I mean, unless we have another tweet. No more tweets. Take the phone away. Take the phone away. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Aaron. Well, I was gonna stream. I stream on Tuesdays and Fridays at this time anyways. But I had to change the stream 3 times by the time we got here. Like all of this started happening, a few hours ago, and I already had like the everything built for the stream that we're going to talk about something else, and then all this happened. So I was trying to rush my thumbnail person to change, and so we could jump on and talk about it a little bit earlier. But I'm glad to be here with you guys. Brian S says too much manipulation. Brian, you hit it on the head there, man. Absolutely. Too much. And I think this is what regulated markets are missing here in the United States too, right? Somebody somewhere made a lot of money, right? A lot of people lost a lot of money. Is that going to be looked into? Who started all this? Hey, Rob, Gutsy, always got to live on the edge, my man. We always got to live on the edge. Chris says CZ should still be in prison. I'm not going to agree or disagree with you. I know that, they were trying to turn over a new leaf with crypto in the US. And I think this was one of those things that the community wanted to see. One way or another, it is what it is, man. But I hear what you're saying, Chris. Top Tank says BlackRock's buying. Well, I think BlackRock was a big seller. They might be buying now. Look at the short orders. Hold on. Let me pull up something here. Man, look at this. This is just crazy prices. Let's see if we've rebounded all here. Let's refresh this. All right, Bitcoin's go, only 7% down. Ethereum is 14% down. XRP still 24% down, but climbing 231. I'd like to get us back to 250, 265. But man, look at this. Sui. Damn, Sui's now $2.48. See, like if you could have timed this really right, you could have made some quick money here, but it's so difficult to know when these types of things are coming. Look at this top 100 Arbitrum down 40%, Algorand down 31%, VeChain 36%, Say 33%. Wow. Look at this. FET is down 50%. Wow. Just crazy, man. Timing right, you couldn't buy it. I hear you, Nacho. I hear you. I feel like they did shut down buying and selling for a while there. Like, it did feel like that. I know I saw multiple people complaining about it. IceGo says, I know you don't like ZBIC, but big things are happening for it. Hey, man, like, I want everybody to do good. I had some initial concerns about some things that I saw. It just wasn't right for me. But I know there's a lot of people that feel very passionate about it. I love to it. Man, if you want to tell us what the things that are happening, I'll be happy to read them. ISCO. Let me know, man. And Curtis says, I'm up 8,000, 50% on my long. You're wild, bro. Yeah, so just to give some more context on this, right now you don't have, you have like non-essential personnel is not working. And so ETFs are kind of put on hold right now, is from what I understand, looking at past government shutdowns and those approvals. I mean, you do have the generic listing standards. I don't know if that changes anything. You did see Canary Capital file for their ticker, as well as the fees. And usually that means the product is coming. Like it's just either a few days or, max 15 days away. I have some of that news I was going to show you here. I was just trying to answer as many questions as I can. Stevie B says, I don't like Coinbase. They play many games. The buy price is always more than the current. Yeah, so Steve, so Coinbase is not an exchange. They're a brokerage. They have higher fees. You're absolutely right. And the fees are pretty egregious sometimes. I completely agree with you. Yeah. If you have the ability to trade on an exchange where you're trading against somebody else, that's probably going to be better fees, obviously. But everything is different. You just want to make sure. Why do we have non-essential government workers? So, these are probably people that answer the phones. These are people that, IT people, all of these, like essential. I mean, what would you say, home? Let's just hold on, because let's just look. Who are non-essential workers? Who is considered essential? Let's take a look. I'm actually very interested in to know this. So let's take a look here. Non-essential workers within the SEC or government are those whose duties are not considered necessary for immediate continuation or critical operations during government shutdowns or emergencies. Essential workers, by contrast, are those whose roles support vital functions, safety, or operational of core infrastructures. Okay, well, there you go. So here is considered essential. You got law enforcement and security staff, emergency services, some senior executives and decision makers, specific administrative IT. Okay, so IT is essential. keep the facilities running. If agencies like the SEC roles related to emergency market monitoring, enforcement to prevent financial crimes, IT operations, and essential services, and certain leadership positions are usually deemed essential. Well, what are non-essential? Many analysts, administrative support, and most policy and research staff, employees working on projects or reports not linked to urgent operations, most external outreach, training, or long-term planning staff, non-supportive administration. So there you go. There's who's important, who's not important, government and SEC. At least we got it answered. Hey, Nicole. I never saw it go below $2. My son did. He said he sold at 350, had a buy order waiting for it and drop low. Damn, your son's an OG and a god. Let's see here. Gold says, hey, Sensei, love your show, but during this insane dip, I saw the charts for XRP, ZBIC, and others, and they look weird because all the charts seem planned and they appeared identical. You know, that's just maybe just the way that you're looking at the chart. Everything dipped. You know, I don't know if you're looking at like 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, you know, if you're looking at 24 hours, 7 day, I don't know what you're looking specifically on the chart, but when everything dips like that, when you have a flash crash in the crypto market, you're going to get some charts that look really, really identical. And I don't think that that is, you know, mischievous. I don't think like that's, you know, a part of a bigger thing, but that's just kind of how I feel. I just think that it's, you know, it sucks. You know, what happened to Mike? Mike, I lost 10K in the stock market and I'm down 90K in crypto today. So Mike, man, that's terrible. And I feel that pain because I mean that, you know, I don't know how much you have or how much you invested, but $100,000 to anybody is a lot of money. I do think these things get worked out. It sucks for today, but I have seen like flash crashes happen, and within a few days or a few weeks, the market does come back. We are supposed to be in a very bullish time for the crypto market. We are just having a lot of terrible things happen at the same time, and those effects we're seeing in the overall market. And we actually, you know, some of this is not too surprising. We have talked a lot about some of the things that are going currently with you know, the jobs numbers and corporations not making as much money and all of these different things. We have talked a lot about this, but there are other things too that, you know, people are worried about right now. I do think it gets worked out, but I'm sorry to hear that, man. JD says, I streamed while it was at 160 or so. This is definite fib moves. XRP hit 62% on the fib. Man, well, where are we heading back to? That is what I would like to know. Black Friday today. Robert, well said, man. Well said. Luca, I'm buying. Like I'm buying. Listen, like whether it goes down another 10% or 20% or whatever, at the end of the day, we still know where this is going. Like, see, like when I first got into crypto and something like this would happen, I would panic a bit, right? Because I'm not used to this. I'm not seeing 60% of my wealth get depleted in an afternoon. It wasn't a good feeling, right? I didn't know what to do. And I learned over time, don't do anything. Like if you cannot catch, it's like trying to catch a falling knife. You can't, you know, like you shouldn't try to grab that falling knife. You just let the knife fall. You get out of the way, right? If you can find opportunities, right? If that knife stops falling, you can find an opportunity to just grab it in the midair, you know, take some positions. I bought some XRP when it was like 180. I bought some XRP when it was 210. You know, I still think we're still going up here. Yes, we've gone back 2 steps or 5 steps or 10 steps, however steps you want to call it. I still think we're heading towards, you know, a brighter future for the crypto space. Sucks today, but it doesn't mean it's going to suck tomorrow. All right. Are you pumping or dumping XRP? I am not dumping XRP. I bought more XRP. I didn't sell any XRP. I bought XRP. That's it. Yeah, and so JD says this is a good thing. This is a good thing. So what JD is probably talking about here, and I can't speak everything for JD, but sometimes there's a lot of froth in the market. There's a lot of FOMO. There's a lot of maybe people taking positions that they probably shouldn't, and you sometimes need a big flush of all of that garbage out. And this today was a flush. And you can build a healthier chart, a healthier structure for the token and the ecosystem when you get these flushes. So I know it's painful. It will recover. FR Rexo says, buy the dip. I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, I haven't tried to withdraw anything from Coinbase. Like I wasn't like panicking like that. But I did try to do a few buys, and a few times it didn't work, but it did eventually work. Yeah, DJR says you can't lose money if you don't sell. Yeah. The price is an illusion, the grand illusion. Ooh, I like it. Other Nomad, great to see you. How are you, my friend? We are experiencing a interesting Friday. Got the crow dip. Yeah, I was looking at that. Crow was on sale, huh? Everything was on sale. So D says this is the largest financial recession ever coming. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I don't think people realize how bad things are and how bad things are going to get, but I guess that's for another day. I try to communicate that on this channel. I try to communicate that a lot. Yeah, time to buy, definitely. Frank says get some ZBIC. Frank's we got a lot of ZBIC fans in the chat. Say it's good time to buy. Big Kahuna checks in. Big Kahuna says, have to stay the course. I would be buying, but I maxed out what I can buy. I think a lot of us feel that way, my friend. I think a lot of us feel that way. Where's Gary when we need him, Scott? You're wild. Crypto equals sophisticated gambling. Rob, you said it very eloquently. I think right now it kind of represents that, right? But in the future. So hold on. Streamer University says, Sensei, what do you think Jake Claver will say? I don't know. Gotta ask Jake Claver what he's gonna say, right? I don't know. We're not like, he doesn't call me for advice, I'd imagine he's gonna tell you how it is. That a lot of things that are out of our control in the crypto space, and some of those things from the real world do affect institutions and heavy whales that are buying into these industries. And when those whales feel like the market is going to adjust downwards pretty hard, they're going to get out of those positions, right? And people that have a lot of money, Jake is getting more hair in Turkey. You guys are wild. You guys are wild. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way, JWD. But hey, I guess you can never say never in the crypto market. I guess you can never say never. C Woods, what's up, dude? I'm trying to click on you, man. It's going so fast. It's going so fast. What's up, man? Great to see you. Oh, Roldan says, miss feeling my bags. That sucks, man, when you miss a flash crash. Yeah, powerful. I know. I've seen the clips. I've had many conversations about that. I He was ballsy enough to put it out there. We'll see if he's right, man. Like I don't really have anything else, anything more to say on that topic. I want him to be right. I don't know if he is going to be right though. Big dog. So if you're just now joining us, if you're not familiar with what happened today, we did see a pretty much flash crash across markets here. Just really quickly, we'll just briefly go into this one more time. There was an announcement. So the U.S. and China have been going back and forth with tit for tat. China put some limitations on exports of rare earth materials to the U.S. The U.S. imports 70% of rare earths from China. Trump canceled or China canceled. I don't know who canceled the meeting, but there was a meeting scheduled for President Trump and Xi Jinping to be at in 2 weeks. That meeting was canceled. And because of that, Trump issued another 100% tariff on Chinese imports across the board, it sounds like, on everything. And so that mixed with poor earnings results, mixed with bond yield surging, a lot of really bad things are happening at the same time. Investors feared reduced global trade, higher company costs, and lower profits, leading to technology and financial stocks seeing the steepest losses. Pretty much panic. Panic, panic. Patrick says Jake will say buy the dip. I mean, he's not wrong. That's actually pretty good advice. Hey, Crypto, what does this mean for garbage pail kids? What the hell is a garbage pail kid? I don't know what garbage pail. I thought you were talking about like, was Cabbage Patch Kids or whatever. What were those like crazy looking things back in the day in like was it the 80s or the early 90s? Cabbage Patch Kids, or I don't know. Jake is Slick Willie. What? You guys are crazy. GL, no worries. Great to, I mean, it's nice to be here with you. I'm sorry it's under different circumstances, but it's always nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. $700 for XRP for entertainment purposes only. Polished Ninja. Well said. Well said, Polished Ninja. Man, you guys got some spiciness tonight. I like it. I like it. Gut-wrenching to watch, but I ended up buying more. Nick, man, I think a lot of people feel exactly the way you feel. It sucks. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But if you look at it the other way, it's an opportunity. You know, everybody comes on here and says, Sensei, we're gonna get XRP under 250, or we're gonna get XRP under $2. Well, people just got their wish. It just sucks that it comes at the expense of the whole market. But to get to these prices, that's what it was going to take, right? XRP is not just going to crash by itself. It would have taken a full market move. And you got to imagine that like people in the stock market and other places, they took a big hit today too. So I think we're all in the same boat here. He's talking about Cabbage Patch dolls. Well, is there like Cabbage Patch Kids too? I don't know, man. I'm just remembering some weird stuff from my childhood. Like there was these, like deformed. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, though, I think. Nicole says China is killing the chemical industry in the U.S. It sucks. Yeah, that farmers, soybeans, like there's a whole different level of things happening, and it's difficult too, right? Because then you're like, is China going to invade Taiwan? Right? You're waiting for that too, and you're with bated breath. And I think they said like 2027 they're gonna try. The world is a crazy place right now, and it's not getting more stable. And it's sure gonna complicate things a lot more. It's tough. Broderick, good to see you, man. How's it going? Thank you for being here. Broderick Robinson, great name, man. Sounds like a baseball player. The Middle Eastern countries, they have adopted Solana, not XRP. Is that it? Which countries have adopted Solana over XRP? Which countries? I mean, if you're talking about like the UAE or Dubai, is Solana even? Can you even use Solana in Dubai? Hold on, let's see. Let me take a look here. Looks like Solana is, in fact, officially approved the use of partnership in Dubai. Yes, yes, yes. It's got a VARA 2025. Dubai's Virtual Asset Regulator Authority signed a memorandum of understanding with Solana Foundation in June 2025. Good to see that they got there, though. Is it approved in the DIFC, though? Let's see here. Solana is not only approved, but actively integrating support. So it's not approved in some places. People just want you to sell your bags for other things. Fact check live. Oh yeah, if you're gonna say something, chances are I'm gonna fact check you live. I mean, what else are we doing here if not to get good real information? So we're gonna do it. I mean, what do you think about Kathy Woods? I don't know. Let's see here. Kathy Woods said it's a done deal. Kathy Woods talked about it in her recent interview. All allied countries just told you they didn't take XRP. Because some people just believe what they want to believe at this point. And you're going to like trust Kathy Woods of all people who are, she's now direct competing against Ripple's banking license. She was always butthurt that she didn't get the license for the last few years. I don't know, man. Kathy and a few of those other people are going to talk their bag. And she's never been an XRP fan. So I don't know if that's somebody that you can like trust what they're saying, but do what you need to do, man. Yeah, I'd imagine it's gonna get crazy. We've talked about this a lot, right? What happens when countries start dumping US treasuries? Because you have China, Japan, and the UK are the three largest holders of US debt. Then you got everybody else, right? Just gonna get worse. Jazzabar, great to see you. Great to see you, man. How's it going? The ripple effect says XRP haters are my favorite. I just, I don't know if it's a lack of education or if they understand it and still go against it. Some people just, you're not going to win to your side no matter what. I've learned that. I can put days into making a video and put like my whole heart into it, make sure everything is perfect. And in the comments, there's still, snarky, mean things. But like, you have 50,000 people that watch a video and you have like 10 bad comments. Most people enjoy it, but there's always people that are going to hate it. Body, I mean, this happened across the whole market. It wasn't just XRP though, like Solana dipped harder than XRP, right? Like there's a lot of things that went harder. I don't think we can isolate one crypto asset as like the villain here, right? It was Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of led the market into this kind of sell-off. All right, you know what? Let's change it up a bit here. We do have, oh, here, look, King Solomon says reverse mooning. Let's do this. Let's check the live feed. Let's see if we got any updates about what's going on here. Let's check it together. Max says this was all well planned, coordinated dump, ancient whale opening $1 billion short position. There you go. See, somebody somewhere Made a lot of money. Treasury Secretary calling to take any measures to ensure market stability. Trump announcing 100% tariffs after a U.S. market close. Oh my God. Alts dumping 60 to 7% in a single candle. I'm certain that some of the very large entities have got their orders filed here. I would probably see the V-shaped reversal and parabolic rally next week. Yeah, I bet you. You know, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time for the U.S. government starts to print money again, like massive amounts. They're already kind of starting, but they're gonna turn it up. They're gonna turn up the heat, and I'd imagine markets will go higher over the next few months, but eventually this will come crashing down. When? I don't know. Smart men go broke 3 ways: liquor, ladies, and leverage. Oh, I like that. I like that. Less than 2 weeks ago, Jim Cramer said to buy crypto. Oh man, we're always looking for the Jim Cramer blame. Are you buying, selling? We are buying. Selling 3.3%. These people are going to hate life soon. God, this number keeps getting bigger now. $9.4 billion in 2024 hours. Bigger than Terra Luna, bigger than COVID, bigger than FTX. Wow, the crash we just witnessed was bigger than those 3 events. That is crazy. That is crazy. Wow. Jim Cramer said today to sell. I can't stand, like, I don't know, man. I'm not going to go with Jim Cramer this, Jim Cramer that. Yes, Sensei, Jerome needs to cut 50 basis points. We need aggressive QE. Yeah. Well, feels like it's coming, doesn't it? I mean, we got two more opportunities this year. Yeah, Travis says, I love XLM at a 20% discount. Happy Friday. Man, that's just, I think it was more. I think it was like 300 billion I saw a market cap drop. 300 billion. What does TDS stand for? Trump did lol TDS. TDS? I don't know. Sensei, when? When what? The reset is coming. Broderick Robinson, the baseball player. Just kidding, he's not a baseball player. Might be, I don't know. He says the reset is upon us. Ooh, I love the suspense. Straight up from here, unless there's another tweet tomorrow that makes it even worse, I think we should be, I don't know, man. Every time I think like something bad is not going to happen, something else bad happens. So I don't think I'm just going to say anything about it. Going to the weekend, it could get worse. Soul of Jeffy, you could be right. It could. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say that. OS, okay. I see what you're saying. I see it. Yeah. I'm not going to say that. No, we're not going to go there. Yeah, we're not going to go there. Yeah. It just pisses off half the people. We're not even going to go there. We're just going to bypass that. Let's just keep checking in on the timeline, all right? Okay. I'm trying to see if there's any other. Coach JV, wow. This must have been hard for Coach JV to say. I think it's the Trump tariff news causing the massive dip. What do you think? Hello. What do you think? Do you think Doge will surge 3,600% like some analysts predict in the next bull run? So, John Craig, this technically is the next bull run. Are we talking about the next cycle, like the 2027, 28 cycle, or are we talking like, I'm trying to better understand what's like, are you talking about this cycle? I don't know, man. I don't own any Dogecoin. It's hard when like Dogecoin does good when Elon tweets and talks about it, but like other than that, I don't know, man. I'm not trading it. I'm not the right person to ask, dude. Is it 1.5 trillion? Is that the new ask? I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with it. It's kind of frustrating to listen to all that stuff, man. This is bigger than China tariffs. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's a little bit of everything, man. So Roy says major crash coming in. Nicole says China is shady. I think you can't label a whole country shady. I think that the people that are in control of the country are probably what you're saying here. But the people themselves, most of them are probably good people. I mean, when I can only tell you about like my experience in China. I went to China in 2022. I had a great time. Everybody was so nice. I mean, it was beautiful. All the buildings. The driver though, we got into like one of those, like an Uber in China, and that guy almost killed us. Everything else was good. That was a little scary. What do I think about Coach? I think Coach has a lot of really incredible points. He's got a great audience. Very smart guy. There's a few things that I don't agree with him on. But I think he's probably one of, I think he's one of the most looked up to people, one of the most looked up to people in the XRP space. I like Coach. I never met him. I like him though. Jesus says, we knew that we were coming for the longs 10x with this move. Next up is the 25x, the short. Don't fall for it. All right. Thank you for sharing that, man. Some people are saying it's a flip of the switch moment. Oh, Ace 404. What's up, dude? China doesn't want to play nice. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Noah from Nampa says XRP is a scam. Fair enough. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you. People get so spicy on days like today. I kind of like it. I kind of like the spiciness. It's okay, man. People. Damaged circuit. I'm probably not. I don't know, man. It's hard to express some of the things that I feel and I believe because a lot of people in the crypto space don't feel some of those things. I worry terribly about some of the ideas and decision making that have kind of led us to this point, right? And I've been questioning that all along. And there's no plan. If people think there's a plan here, there's no plan. There's no plan. I hate to break it to everybody. It's gonna get worse. All right. Hold on, let me check something. You know what I wanted to know? How many trade deals have actually been signed? How many trade deals are still left open? Remember this? We're going to do 90 deals in the 90 days. It was 100 deals in 90 days. Right? How many deals? 90 deals? Okay. So how many trade deals have we had so far? Currently, we have 3 major trade deals that have officially been signed. China, United Kingdom, and Vietnam. You've had 3 trade deals. This started in April. We are in October, and you got 3. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's 97 to go. 97 to go. I mean, at this rate, it'll be 2030 by the time you get like 25 or 30 deals done. So like, what happens to the economy with all of those additional tariffs, right? You had to imagine that this was going to impact and show into the numbers sooner or later. It's now showing. Okay. Imagine it's going to get worse. It'll get worse. Oh, you know what? Hold on. President Trump just announced 100% tariff. Markets are down sharply. I'm joining Aaron Burnett and CNN tonight to discuss the outlook. So, you know, the meeting, the President Xi meeting, I have heard, like, I was watching a clip, I don't know if it's on Fox News, that there's some issues in China now with maybe Xi not being able to leave. I don't know. I think there's a shakeup happening in the CCP or whatever it is. I don't really follow that too well, but we'll have to see how that turns out. Sentiment in the market is negative. Yeah. I was considering selling Zcash in case it starts acting like the rest of crypto. Hard, man. Like, you know, I get what you're saying here. The hard part, Gary, is like we are supposed to be entering the best months for crypto. Like this, the bull market end year, October, November, December is like supposed to be the all-time highs for a lot of these assets, and you're just not seeing a lot of it, right? And I think a lot of it plays into how much money has been lost to meme tokens, Solana, your pump funds, like those types of things. I mean, you got to be talking about billions of dollars in retail funds lost. And then you throw in all of these, you know, you got to imagine like all of these things, like one of these things is not a big deal, right? The tariffs, right? The China stuff, oil prices, you know, war, like all of these things by themselves can be handled one at a time. But what happens if you have all of those things happening at the same time? That is what caused the issue today. People are worried about the future of like the stock market's at all-time raging highs, right? When the economy, most states, like I think it's like, how many states is it? Hold on. I think it's like 20. How many US states are already in a recession? Like this is something that people are not talking about in the crypto market either, but we talk about on this channel. I don't mind. As of October 2025, 22 US states are already in a recession. Okay. There are clear signs of economic contraction, according to analysis by Moody. Okay. This is not like left and right. This is Moody. This is who gives the US a credit rating, right? One of the companies or one of the institutions. Chief economist Mark Zandi. Another 13 states are considering treading water. So you have almost 22 and 13 is 35 out of the 50 states with strengthening growth, while remaining 16 states are experiencing continued expansion. Here, let's see. Let's find out. What are the states that are expanding and what are the states that are currently suffering? Just wanted to touch base real quick here, guys. We have 4,000 people in the chat. I mean, I know it's under really terrible circumstances that you're here, but I just want to say thank you for being here from the bottom of my heart. It's great to see some of you. I know life gets busy and we go do other things, but it's just really nice to spend this time with you. I know it's under shit circumstances, but I just wanted to say thank you for being here. Okay, so here you go. 16 states in the US, excluding Texas, Florida, and Pennsylvania, are currently expanding. States expanding. It's got Texas, Florida, and Pennsylvania. States that are suffering the most here, you got Wyoming, Montana, Minnesota, Mississippi, Kansas, Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., Georgia, Illinois, New Jersey, and Virginia. So it's kind of a mixture here across the U.S., right? That's tough. That's tough. So many comments here. I mean, he was probably already going to lose this bet. I think, we've talked about this at length. Um, the problem with the theory is you need so many things all to happen at the same time. It's just tough, man. But you know what? I don't know. Was it an incredible business strategy? Yes. People are listening. People are watching. People want more. You gotta admit, it was pretty genius. You bet a few thousand XRP to make tens of millions of dollars in the long run. Very smart, actually. Let's see here. Broderick says, Sensei, how long did XRP go seeing other people say 140? I think like on here, I have something here. Where to go? Yeah, here. So it looks like on Kraken it went to 157, and then on Binance, some people said it went down to almost $1.19. This is I don't know, like, if you can really count. I mean, I don't know if anyone was able to buy here, that would be kind of crazy. But yeah, just crazy stuff, man. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. But we're here. We're making it through. Let's get into some crypto news here. Man, look at this. Sui went down to 50 cents on this candle. Look at this, 55 cents. Holy smokes. Raul Paul says, desperately trying to move money out of my bank and into crypto. Near impossible to any reasonable time. Anyways, still a gift. So Raul Paul was trying to buy the dip. Here is, Good Morning Crypto saying, is this real? $1.51. And we talked about the $1.2 trillion been wiped out from the stock market today. Morgan Stanley finally broadening access to spot Bitcoin ETFs. Financial advisors will now be able to offer to all their clients in all type accounts. Morgan with $8.2 trillion assets under wealth management. So like, this is the thing, right? Most people are like, the crypto market's crashing. Is it all over? If you are investing for the future here, if you are looking further past today, past tomorrow, into the next few years, all of the prices that you see for the crypto assets that will make it are extremely cheap. Okay, I'll say that again. All prices for crypto assets that are going to make it through the next 5 to 10 years are extremely cheap today. You got to have a different mindset here. You cannot be thinking today or tomorrow. You need to be thinking down the line here. Most people invest in stocks for decades. We need to have a similar mindset. We can't just expect $1 million gains for digital assets. Not everything is a meme coin, right? I mean, look at all those meme coins that launched on BNB. Some stuff went to $150 million in a day to crash down to freaking nothing in 24 hours. Think about how much money is being lost and gambled on some of this technology. It's crazy. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, let's pull something up here. All right, so like some of the popular, let's see here, BNB. Like here was a popular BNB token. Look at this. This thing went up to 16 million. Is at 1.1 million. This token went from had a high point here of almost 50 million within 1 day, 1.7 million, right? I don't know, man. Some of these tokens are just getting hammered. Just getting hammered. It's a I don't know, man. I don't even want to get into some of this stuff because it is just, you don't know if the I don't know, man. I'd honestly I'd be worried about BNB meme season. It's not good. I mean, if you like the overall asset class and what CZ is doing, obviously buying the underlying token. But like, I don't know, man. I think buying Solana over BNB right now is probably the smarter play, personally. I mean, at least you have institutional growth on Solana. You don't really see that right now in BNB. You see a lot of people speculating, but all right, let me get into some other news here. Why you guys are just chatting. So here, this was an interesting clip here. Scott Bessent. Let's play it.
The biggest regulatory changes from the Biden administration to the Trump administration, there have been a lot of them, is our emphasis on AI and digital assets. AI in the Biden administration was governed by diffusion. They were going to treat it somewhat like the nuclear program, keep it in a box. They were going to hand it to Google, Microsoft, Meta, and that was life. On the other side, digital assets had a near extinction event with Wells notices going out to many companies, banks prohibited from opening accounts. And I think the fact that we're creating, the term is sandbox, where there's a lot of experimentation, where there are a lot more offerings, and for community banks not to be locked in that they have to use like one of 3 dominant service providers, that for a wider range, supply will push down price, choice will inform. Community bankers are, and the owners, whether they're family-owned banks, whether the shareholders are usually in the vicinity. And I think that they will be laser focused on the new technologies. And just like with the credit card companies, I think that new payment rails will exist. And I think we have to make sure that it's open for everybody. JP Morgan, Bank of America may have their own stable coin, but I think it's very easy, and you'll hear, you have 2 great participants, that you will hear that for community bankers to join together.
All right, really quickly, what's interesting about this clip, for a long time, you had the infrastructure to move money relied on a few big banks. JP Morgan, HSBC, and Citibank are the largest 3. Often middle-sized credit unions, smaller banks, they pay the big guys to use their rails. If you're trying to move money across the world and you don't have the means to do that, you have to rely on the bigger banks' rails. The invention of digital assets, blockchain, and ledgers allows you to move that same value instantaneously across the world without the pre-funding, without the infrastructure from these large financial institutions. It will give banks a lot more, it'll give them a lot more choice when it comes to moving customer money. They're going to be able to move it a lot faster, a lot more securely, and a lot more cheaply, right? 100, it was it for wire transfers with Swift, you could save $140 billion a year moving to Ripple and XRP over the Swift system. $140 billion a year. $1.4 trillion in 10 years is what you can save. And payments are only getting bigger. So it's interesting to see the support for the innovation. I think is only going to grow. I know days like today suck, but we are on the way here. Let's get some questions going on here. Jake would say buy more XRP. Travis, you're probably absolutely right. Tim Scott is the man. That's not Tim Scott, though. That's Scott Bessent. Different Scott. Neo says, I do support Sensei. I appreciate that. Dashing says, California coast right here with much love for Trump and Elon. Thank you for checking in, man. Great to see you. Is Trump still talking? I don't know, man. Is he? I don't know. I was trying to listen to some of that, and I don't know, man. I like it was. They were talking about all kinds of random stuff. Let's see if we have some updates here. Tariffs are tanking the market. Oh, let's listen to this. Let's see what he says here.
It doesn't take much insight to see that the market is getting nuked right now. And the question is why exactly is this happening? Well, guys, we just got the catalyst for why this was taking place, and it looks like a lot of people knew this was going to happen. There was a lot of front running, but essentially what just took place is that Trump just imposed a massive tariff on China. Now, I had an opinion on tariffs back when Trump did this the first time around, and personally, I think tariffs are a good policy. I mean, I think it's a good way to get these countries to act like the United States wants them to in terms of trading. So I have nothing wrong with tariffs. Now, the market clearly does not like tariffs, and it's not something that I necessarily fully understand in terms of why the market looks at these things so negatively. But just look at the reaction, the market's not happy about them. Now, my personal opinion is that this is a huge overreaction from the market. There is no justifiable reason for why the market is getting hit the way it is based off this tariff.
Yikes! 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 Oh, I don't even know where to start. There's a reason. Okay, listen, whatever, I don't care where you like what your whole thing is here. The reason you don't have one person randomly picking what countries to tariff out of just like thin air is because you can lose trillions of dollars with one decision. Okay. This is why you have a Congress, right? Congress is there to set tariff rates. They look at all of this stuff. They look at the competition and they do all of these things. Yes, in the past, presidents have used their power to issue temporary emergency tariffs. But when you use them as a blanket policy, you get a negative reaction in the market. And if you can't see that, you're probably not looking hard enough at the actual market. So I definitely disagree with Mikkel here. I think we need to give the tariff policy back to Congress so the markets can stabilize and even out here, because you never know what's going to be issued tomorrow, right? And you might not agree, whatever. I don't care. Like if you are a country, or if you are a business in America and you don't know tomorrow if there's going to be another 100% or 50% or 30% tariff, how can you plan your business? How can you grow your business? You cannot project costs on steel, aluminum, workers. Like, you also are not allowing, right? We've really tightened up things when it comes to people being able to come for school and those types of things, right? Getting visas, right? When you kind of shut the world down to all of the best talent, that's also another problem. There's all of these things are adding to each other. I just disagree with Mikkel here in a big way when it comes to tariffs. All good though, man. Let it fly. This is, if we're listening to something that I haven't listened to before, you're gonna get a reaction. This is how I feel. Let's see what else is going on here. Alt's crashing hard over 50%. It's your move. I mean, brutal. I mean, I bet you we're going to find out some crazy information that people made billions of dollars off of this. And I bet you somebody somewhere knew what was coming. And I bet you some insiders made a ton. It could have been worse. Try 25% plus.
Hit the world. You know, they hit the world with something that really is not anything that people are going to do, and it was shocking. I can tell you, Howard and I and Todd, we all Scott, we were all speaking about it before, and we said, where did that come from? It was just, that was out of the blue, right? Out of the blue, they came up with this whole import-export concept, and nobody knew anything about it. So.
If they roll back their export controls, the new announcement, would you roll back?
Look, we're going to have to see what happens. That's why I made it November 1st. We'll see what happens.
All right, so it sounds like he's giving some time to November 1st for China to lift these restrictions on exports on rare earths. Hopefully cooler heads prevail. And we'll see how this goes. Mitchell Torres says, Mikkel doesn't know what he's talking about. I wonder if he's still waiting for manufacturing to come back to America. Exactly, right? Listen, guys, manufacturing makes up 10% of US GDP, 10%. Services makes up 70%, okay? We should be looking to expand services, not manufacturing. We are not set up to become a super manufacturing hub like China or India or other places around the world, right? You need to have all of these systems put in place to get all of these parts and supplies and cheap, like you're never going to be able to compete at scale for manufacturing against Mexico, against India, against China. You're still not going to be able to do that, right? Your manufacturing is not coming back in the way that people think it is. And because we're doing all of this, right, to get that 10% piece, what, 12%, 15%, we are hurting everything else to grow this piece of market that we probably should have just left alone. That's the biggest problem right now. And if we can solve that problem, a lot of the other stuff gets fixed too. Okay. But the issue is nobody's hitting the brakes. Nobody's stopping. We are just making it worse. So what do you think is going to happen to markets, right? You're about to get a ton of economic data. You're about to get jobs numbers that are going to be worse than expected, right? You're in the earnings season, right? You're entering holidays where Christmas and all of this stuff, you're going to see dramatically less spending at stores and department stores. Everybody is going to feel this pinch over the next few months. And the thing is not to give more power to issue more tariffs. That is not the smart play here. Anyways. Spicy. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Colby, I know that's what you're being told. Okay. Where is the money? Where is the money? I have not been able to prove where the money is coming from. Trump says 17 trillion, right? Is being invested into the US. Can you confirm where this money? We've already looked at this, man. Like, I don't know if you're not keeping up with like actual facts here, but all good. We'll go through it together. President Trump has been repeatedly claimed that $17 trillion is being pouring into the United States. Attributing to this figure is the impact of his policies and aggressive tariffs, tax cuts, and efforts to attract investments from corporate and foreign leaders. However, there is no official breakdown or credible economic data that confirms this total. Right? There's no, the number sounds good, but there's nothing to verify that. Hold on. Somebody's sending me something. 1 second. Hold on. So there's a rumor. Hold on. Let me see. Somebody just sent me something in Discord. Share this in stream. Hold on. All right. I have not had time to fact check this. I just want to be very clear. I'm bringing this up on screen here. Kobe, we'll have to agree to disagree on this really quickly. All right, let me see here. Rumor is Wintermute plus crypto.com got hit hard, blew up. If you want to stay safe, withdraw your money associated with the protocols. If you cannot confirm this information, you guys, as I do not know anyone at Wintermute or anyone at crypto.com. Ooh, that is going to be hard to verify. That is going to be hard to verify, dude. Hold on. I'm trying to verify this. Hold on. Unconfirmed rumor circulating. Okay, so there's, oh man, like, yeah, I don't know about sharing this to everyone, dude. Wintermute. Let's see. Is there anything on X about this? This would be a catastrophe. This would be a catastrophe. Guess who deposited Binance for the nuke? Bingo, Wintermute. 700 million to Binance right before the market nuked.
Number one terrorist leader to justice.
Here is the rumor. So this is what Caitlin was sharing. I don't know if this is true, guys. Like you often see these things. I mean, this crash was worse than, what was it? FTX, Terra Luna. Where was that tweet? Man, this would be really bad here. Yeah, here you go. Look at this. This crash was worse. It was bigger than Luna, bigger than COVID, and bigger than FTX. I mean, that would be horrible for people if you have money on crypto.com and something happened to them. I hope that's not true. Home of the Hangover says, almost had a mini stroke watching the ETH trade drop in real time. Thank God I didn't get stomped out. Man, that's crazy. Black Swan. Yeah, Sebastian. Yeah, facts, dude. Ripple Effect says there's multiple layers of a shakeout. There's the market tanks, and then there's people who know they will sell when it hits an all-time high. Well, so great point. Great point. But at what point do you consider them long-term effects, right? Because we've had them now since April, right? We've had them since April. They would have been short-term if they were ended already, but we are entering the place where those long-term effects are starting to set in, and you're starting to see that with the corporate earnings, right? Like we looked this up, right? Hold on. How good or bad were corporate earnings? What are the biggest things affecting those earnings? All right, so here we go. Let's just take a look at this OSOK together, because I'm interested to know here too. Corporate earnings for Q3 2025 were generally positive, with the S&P 500 reporting an estimated year-over-year earnings growth of about 8%, making it the 9th consecutive quarter for growth in the index. Performance was particularly strong with technical sector driven by artificial intelligence. All right, let's go. Biggest factors affecting earnings. You got labor market softening. Recent downward revisions to job data and weaker hiring momentum signaled a softer labor market. Okay. AI and tech performance, robust growth in technology and AI related to companies provided substantial boost. Monetary policy shifts, falling inflation, increased talk of potential Fed rate cuts have helped lower borrowing costs. Ongoing political uncertainty, tensions, especially recent threats of new tariffs on China, have led to significant market volatility. Mixed sector trends, staples such as beverage and food reported modest revenue growth, yada, yada, yada. Positive guidance trends, S&P companies issued positive earnings guidance for Q3, average 49%, 5 to 10-year average of 30s highs, bonding for all coming. All right, so that looks like it's okay. But you're still getting a lot of really bad heat right now. No said he got out just in time. Dumping chemicals. Are we talking about China again? It's always Binance? Yeah, dude. Dude, it feels like that, right? It feels like that. I don't think it's retail. I think it's institutions and whales. I don't think retail knew what was going on until it was all but the shouting. But it does feel like there was some insiders that knew it was coming. And I think we're going to find out more about that, right? Because now you have one of the biggest crashes in crypto history, right? You have people that are going to be looking through all of these transactions to find out who knew when at one time. I wouldn't underestimate the Twitter or X army. I think people They're gonna find out really quick. Wintermute is their liquidity provider. They send them tokens and they dump on the market. Oof. It's all posturing at this point. No 100% tariffs. Just the threat of that. Patience will pay off again. I think we just need to cool down. Cause like, so here, and just hear me out here, and then we're gonna stop talking about tariffs, okay? The whole idea behind tariffs was to bring countries to the negotiating table, right? To get a better deal. But over the last 7 months or 6 months, April to now, you've gotten 3 deals. 3. Is that a good job? Is that a bad job? I think different people will feel different ways about that. But the overall goal here was to bring countries to the table to negotiate better deals. Not a lot of countries are doing that. So where does that leave us? And how long does that leave us in this place? That's the tough part, right? And maybe this will all be fixed tomorrow. I don't know. But I do know that all of these things going together is probably what caused the market today. Plus probably some insiders that lit the match. Yeah, somebody's going to find out what happened. 7 deals, not 3. I think we just verified this, right? We just looked at this. I think we just looked at this, right? Hold on. Yeah, here you go. Here, it's not 7 deals. It's not 7 deals, Rob. It's 3 deals. These are the 3 countries. UK, China, and Vietnam. Those are the deals that you have signed deals. Not verbal agreements, not we're going to do this or we're going to do that. You have to have you have signed agreements. Okay? 3. So the number is 3, not 7. All good though. I know there's a lot of information out there that sometimes doesn't line up with our thought process or what we've been hearing, but that is what the information is. I'm not. Do you like? I'm surprised people still trust legacy media on either side to give you what the real facts are. That's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me use. Hold on. Let me try something else. How many deals still? All right. It could be a, what's it called here? Hold on. I'm trying to pull up something else here. Let me see here. I know the US and EU, UK, I'm trying to see how it's here. While I'm looking this up, let me put something on here for you. I thought this was interesting here.
Coin was started, or cryptocurrency was started as a goof, really, by someone we don't know who it is, somebody who used the fake name.
It was a decentralized currency so that really when it started, so you could pay for things and not be detected. Like it was all this underground.
It's for criminals.
It was
That's
when
who
it
uses
started. It was for criminals.
But you know that
And it's still for criminals.
But humanity just attaches value to things that really mean nothing. You're wearing a black T-shirt. That could be a black T-shirt from Target. You put a Ralph Lauren thing on it. We just say that that's worth more.
But it's still, it exists. It's something. Bitcoin is nothing. Do you know how they establish Bitcoin? Why it uses more electricity than some countries? Did you know that about Bitcoin?
I do know that.
Okay.
Mining.
Because there are, yes, mining. There are football field size buildings that have nothing but supercomputers that are, it's like the game of pick a number from 1 to 10, except the number is between 1 and infinity. And the person guessing the number is in the matrix. And the person who has created the number is a fictional person also. And that's a way to run a currency. You know, Matt Damon, love him, but him and the other celebrities who told people to get into this, they're getting an awful lot of shit now, and I understand why. They suggested that people get into this Ponzi scheme, and it's not going to come out well for any of them.
I think it's not going to come out well for most of them, but some people are actually scoring.
Yeah, true that.
The odd one.
Okay, well.
All right, here. So I just wanted to, we had some information here. So I wanted to just verify this. Rob says there are 7 deals. Just wanted to clarify so everyone knows where we are. Okay. So there's formal and interim trade deals. So there are 7 countries with formal and interim. Interim is not, it's still pending, right? They need to sign an official, but these are the 7 that have an interim. We were talking about things that are fully signed. So that's where we're getting the difference between 3 and 7. But there's also that's 7 deals in now 7 months. We were trying for 100 deals in 90 days. We still have, let's just call it the 7. Let's use the higher number. There's 93 deals that still need to be done. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. And during that time is what we're trying to say is you're going to have this fluctuation, right? Things are more expensive. You're not having as many homes built. You're not having buildings, erected and these types of things. All of these costs are making things more expensive to do business. Okay. All right. Let's see. Is there any other questions here that we want to get into? I really don't want to keep talking about tariffs. What's up, G Nice? Good to see you. We're talking about countries. We're talking about countries, not companies. Countries. Facts. I don't really know how else to say it other than Jazabar just laid it out. Gabriel says, go buy gold and stop this game. New World Order will stole the money under the name of economic war. Interesting. Ay. It's all orchestrated. I hear you. How slow or quick do you think we'll recover? That's a great question. It could go back to business as normal. Like, it's gonna be interesting because you need institutional and whales to kind of come back in. And are they going to feel confident, right? Do they need some type of deal with the US and China to feel confident? Like that's maybe something that we need to pay attention to. If they don't, then markets will continue to go back up. If it is a prolonged thing with the government shutdown and all these things, that could take some time. And hopefully it doesn't take time. Luna's good. Oh, she's sleeping. Hold on. I kind of woke her up though. She saw me taking the picture. Thanks for asking. Did I look at silver's price? I haven't looked at silver's price. No. Yeah, this is true. Fundamentals haven't changed. ETFs are right around the corner. All will rise. Stay invested. Capital Man, I like it. I like it. Everybody gives me the side eye. I think Render, I don't know much about Plume. I think Render is definitely an asset that'll still be here in years to come. Haven't seen too many updates recently from Render though. James says, don't forget to stock up on goods, food, pet food. It's fall. Love that. Yeah, definitely. Anybody going on any really good vacations? You know, anything else that we can talk about other than all of this doom and gloom? I feel like it gets a little exhausting. Mexico, baby. Big shrimp. Where are you going? You going to Cancun? You going to Cabo? You going to Tijuana? Where are you going? I'm good. D nice. You know, I didn't realize this was all going to pop off today though. I was trying to build a chat for something else and it just went into all this. Kind of crazy. Plume has BlackRock ties. That's interesting. Let's take a look at that Plume. Is this the one? Man, this thing dipped hard. About 60%, you know, a little less than 60, less than 60. I want to see if there's any real information about as you can see, there were some frustrations in the market with everybody else. Oh, let me take this down here. Let's see here. I'm just trying to see if there's anything. What's Crypto.com doing to me? No, this is old. And others people saying it could be Binance. Something huge getting liquidate. A lot of his positions. Crypto.com had no issues while other crypto exchanges halted trading. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's why everyone comes complaining about it. Okay. I personally don't think there's something wrong with crypto.com, but if something is wrong, that's gonna be worse. And hopefully not. Hopefully not. XRP status for South Africa. I mean, XRP has been expanding in Africa. What do you got? Like Valar, you have Yellow Card. What's the other one? Hold on. Ripple in Africa. Here. Somebody asked about Ripple in Africa. Let's just go into this real quick. Chipper Cash, Valar, and Yellow Card. Those are the three companies. That's what I was looking for. A lot of stuff's happening with these three companies in and around Africa. Pan-African Payments Company integrates RLUSD, a leading South African exchange, adding RLUSD in trading pairs. Yellow Card's Africa's largest pan-continental crypto exchange, enabling broader consumer base and access trade use of RLUSD. A lot of things happening. I think there's a lot of stuff happening in Africa, like with people that don't have accounts, like that are getting debanked. Yeah, dude, every time I see that, every time I read it, I'm always thinking of Yellow Card in the back of my head. You know, like the violin, the electric violin. Dude, they Yellow Card was actually touring like before they got like really popular. They were at my high school way back when. Every time I hear it, dude. Yeah, Ocean Avenue. That's what's up, Cal. That's what's up, dude. Dennis Erickson says QFS XRP equals gold backed with gold. That's my thought on the new financial system. Appreciate you sharing that, man. Yeah, I think there was a problem, Steve. I don't think there's a problem right now. I think what during this crash, I think there was a problem. I think sometimes like they try to do everything they can to stop the crash, right? And they, if you stop trading, if you stop the movement of crypto buying and selling, you can stop some of the crash. Ripple is the future. I agree with you. I really wholeheartedly agree with you. Bought my gold at Costco, made 2% back. That's actually really smart. That's really smart, Nicole. Is that the infinite money glitch you got there? You just buy gold to infinity? I mean, would it even be worth it to buy gold and then go, but you'd probably lose on the selling it to somebody else. They're going to take their fee or whatever. I was like, maybe you just thought of something really cool. I love the side hustle, Nicole. I love the side hustle. I did, often people ask about Algorand. I finally saw some Algorand news here. Algorand is partnering with Google Cloud Tech on agentic commerce. The future of AI and blockchain technology is here on Algorand. That's interesting. Bringing Web 2 into Web 3, right? Hedera Hashgraph entering real world asset space. BlackRock, Fidelity, Aberdeen, State Street, Scintilla, Red Swan, CRE. Man, I think it's going to be pretty good. Did you guys see the video that I made on the repo market and clearing and settlement? I made a video recently on that, maybe last few days. I love Costco. Let's see here. Rob says Coach JV gave one of the best explanations for XRP this morning. Is it on X or is it in one of his streams? Brian, did you see the video? Or are we just talking about how much we love Costco? You know what? Like, I love like the different things at Costco. Like, who doesn't like to go and like at least shopping at Costco can be fun because you often find things that you don't, and then you can get them in bulk. But like the Costco's here, the one in town, there's too many people. Like I got hit in the back by a shopping cart like 3 times last time I went to Costco. There's just too many people. It's too much. The samples, yeah, well, that's another thing too, right? Daniel says for Costco buying gold here, they sell it at a premium, but you can get a bunch of money back with the right membership and using their members only credit card. Yeah, the Costco card, right? Or the Visa card, whatever they have. Past few months is pretty much cleared the premium. That's good to know, Daniel. I think you and Nicole have the same idea. Longfeller said, if that was a correction, I don't want to see a crash. That was a crash. That was a crash. It was worse. It sounds like it was worse than FTX, worse than Terra Luna. Bad. Really bad. I mean, you had more money in the market. The parking is brutal. Facts. Are you talking about just Costco in general or the one here? If you're talking about the one here, like double facts. But yeah, I hear you. Sensei, I love your channel. While I was panicking, you went live and explained everything. That's real community. The other channels went so quiet. You'd swear they caused the dip. Listen, I appreciate you, streamer. Thank you. I think there's a lot of really incredible people in like the XRP space and the crypto space. And I think just, sometimes you're not planning to go live and you plan to like spend time with your family or do something outside of crypto. And, it was just weird timing that I was going to be, coming online and I just kind of shifted what the chat was about to better understand what was going on. And, I had right opportunity at the right time to come in and speak with you, and I hope it helped. Thank you. I don't think anybody in the XRP space had anything to do with what we saw today. I think this was larger than crypto. There's probably some insider somewhere that had a hand in some of it, but I don't think it was anybody like any streamer or XRP person. Like, I don't think any of those people had anything to do with it. Just want to be clear. There's some really incredible people. I don't agree with whatever, like we all disagree on different aspects of this, but the overall people and just how much they care about the community, I just can't see any of those people doing something like that, man. So yeah, it can be slow, Rob. It could be slow. Like it'll say Prime, and then so when you see Prime, you're like, oh snap, I'm gonna get this tomorrow. When you see Prime here, yeah, it's still, it could be like a week. And you know what's frustrating too? Like you'll pay more to get something here in like 2 or 3 days. Like you can't get something here in 2 days, but you can pay more to get something here in 3 days, and then like it won't show up for 8 days. And then you're like, oh, you paid more to get this thing here faster? Sorry, can't help you. So much good news. Like there's so much good news, man. There's so much good news. Before all of this happened, I made 5 videos today. There's so much good news. I've never seen this level of news. I've never seen this level of news. And I know we look at like what happened today and we think there's a larger problem with the crypto market, and maybe there is, right? But there's not a larger problem with Ripple's technology and their partnerships. It is just incredible. Treats for Luna. Pop and Red Bull and brighten up the day. Talk about our party spot. Do you have a poll where we could do something? You know what? I think what we need to do in the future here is maybe I can give Ariana access to do polls on YouTube. Ariana, can you do polls? Yeah, I never panic. I've done all the panicking for you, ladies and gentlemen. My early years in crypto, that's all I did. Like I was a professional panic artist, these days just gotta focus on what's to come, man. That's all we can do. Robinhood paused your XRP purchase. Mike, that's frustrating. I can understand that, man. Yeah, you're absolutely. So it was a mixture of things. You're right though. Vibes. You're right. A lot of it was large institutional in Wales. A lot of stop orders being hit and passed through. And I think you just had a small collapse. It's not just that. We've talked a lot about this in the chat. I don't really want to revisit a lot of it, but some of it is job creation numbers, right? That's pretty bad. Some of it's the tariff stuff. Some of it's leading into the holidays. A lot of people are not spending as much. A lot of different things are happening right now that maybe cause some instability. You also have the government shutdown, and both sides are kind of fighting and making points. You also had, it looked like the Democrats on the Senate side put together a policy for the Clarity Act that was absolutely terrible. I saw Brian Armstrong reacting to that this morning. So there was just layers of shit, layers of stuff. So it's unfortunate. But we're going to get through it together, everyone. We're going to get through it together. I believe in XRP, silver, gold, mining companies. Love that. Your son goes to Kauai every year. Kauai is pretty. Kauai is very pretty. I mean, it's all very pretty. I just want to see if it's raining because it's been raining recently. No, we're still good. And then I just want to thank Tom for the donation. Tom, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Tom. Can't thank you enough, man. Yeah, Idea Hub, what's up? Nice to see you. Aloha. Yeah, that's true, Rob. That is true. You know, like you got to imagine there's probably a large portion of the world that was sleeping when all of this happened. But I mean, maybe that was a good thing, right? They avoided all the panic, and by the time they're waking up, things kind of have cooled off by then. Maybe they got it better than we did, Rob. Can I see you, Jack the Moon? I can see you. I mean, I can't like see you, but I see your comment. It would be weird if I could see you. Next up, alien invasion. It's coming, dude. It's coming. It's coming. They've been trying to tell us for years. Josh said he's in Thailand and he just woke up to the crazy news. So Josh kind of slept through all this today. I bet you Josh's stress level is a lot lower than a lot of us. Like people are actively trying to get home to have like a cocktail or however else they relax. People are heading for whatever that is right now here in the United States. They missed the dip. You're absolutely right, but they also missed, maybe some health scares. So I don't know, man. 3i Atlas, that is kind of scary, isn't it? They were supposed to get some pictures of it. Like, wasn't it passing within some kind of tens of millions of miles or kilometers of Mars? And they have some kind of orbiters around there. I thought we were going to get some imaging. It's supposed to be really big, right? It's supposed to be like the size of Manhattan. And that's not normal for that kind of, what's it called? I don't know. I'm trying to brush up on my 3i Atlas news. They missed the entire panic attack. Exactly. Roll done. Exactly. Lucy, what happened if we're asking like for a full breakdown? There's some tensions between the US and China, and that kind of caused a little bit of a lot of selling in the stock market, and then it kind of just led into the crypto market, and then a lot of people's everything just got shot all the way through, and it just everything tanked. If most of the stuff tanked anywhere from 30 to like 70%, depending on what crypto asset you own. Some of it's coming back now, but it's very no one knows exactly what pushed it, but a lot of people are looking into it. Hopefully Asia won't panic sell. I think it's usually like once you get through it, it's kind of over. Obviously there could be other news and other complications that cause the market to go down more. We don't know how that's going to turn out. We'll have to see, guys. We'll have to see. Let's see if there's anything additional new on X that we can take a look at. Luna, out of the bathroom. I see you. Planned and coordinated. There you go. We were targeted by large-scale proxy attacks earlier, which temporarily affected the website access. The issue has been resolved. Our website is fully accessible. Thank you for your patience. Oh, wow. So maybe it had something to do with CoinGlass being targeted? That's some shady shit. We got to verify. We don't know. CoinGlass is saying that they were targeted by a large-scale proxy attack. So it feels like this was something that was planned. 19 billion liquidated from the crypto market today. This number keeps getting bigger. Man, this is just crazy business. Crazy business. Yeah, look, BD says this how not to panic in a market crash. Stop checking the price, close your eyes, take a deep breath, say to yourself, I am still broke. Oh my God, that guy's freaking funny. Crypto casino is rigged, and today's events prove it beyond doubt. A signal colossal Bitcoin whale shorted at the peak Then in just minutes before the market shattering crash piled on millions more into shorts. At the very bottom drop, he closed 90% of his Bitcoin short and completely exited his Ethereum short, pocketing roughly $190 to $200 million in a single day. The only instance that we can trace the speculation rampant, the scale was far larger than extended other exchanges. So it looks like this was a coordinated hit to make money. Coordinated hit to make money. Awful. Awful, man. Oh, yeah. So this Dread Bingo says, let me guess how this plays out. Trump drops massive tariff on China bomb on Friday, right before market close for the weekend. Then he spends next 48 hours wrapping up the fear with all the news and screaming doom. By Monday, the markets open deep red, full panic with everyone dumping. A few days later, Trump walks it back and the shift starts to calm down. Give it a month and we're back at all-time highs. With Trump out in front taking credit for the big thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Have you canceled your meeting with President Xi? And
No, I haven't canceled, but I don't know that we're going to have it. But I'm going to be there regardless, so I would assume we might have it. But, you know, they hit the world with something that really is not anything that people are going to do. And it was shocking. I can tell you, Howard and I and Todd, we all, Scott, we were all speaking about it before. And we said, where did that come from? It was just, that was out of the blue, right? Out of the blue, they came up with this whole import-export concept, and nobody.
All right. Damn, this person bought 100K XRP at $1.30. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that. Nobody was able to buy when it was that cheap. Well, at least we're getting some more understanding of what's going on. I don't think it was anybody's plan. You know what? It was somebody's plan, but I don't think it had anything to do with him. Planned. Kami says planned. Damn, Tooth Fairy says they were able to buy some at $1.40. Wow. Sensei, what price did you look into? I think it was like $1.90 and $2.10. I didn't get in at those prices. That would have been cool, man. I was like, you know what? I had just recorded several videos and I was like uploading it. I was not paying attention to like Twitter and what's it called? And my friend called me. He's like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, are you okay? Like, what happened? He's like, the market is crashing. I was like, I'm trying to buy XRP. And I was like, oh, I was like, let me look at this. I pulled up Coin Market Cap and I thought I was like, no, this can't be right. I was like, this can't be right. And then I started looking on X and other places and I was like, holy shit, it's right. And then that's when I started to go try to buy. Like my first reaction was, holy shit. And the second reaction was, I gotta buy. Jennifer says it's the world's plan. And Jennifer has a cute little PFP of a dog. Love that, Jennifer. Thank you. David wants to share his frustration with Robinhood. He said, let me say something about Robinhood. They rejected any purchase under 220 for XRP. And I made several attempts and everyone was rejected. Well, I definitely feel your pain, man. And that's frustrating. I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. It does feel like retail. It feels like we get kind of screwed on a lot of these instances. And it sucks. Man, somebody was able to buy at 146. They kept rejecting the price, but managed to go through a smaller amount. Strong. Kraken deposit stuck. That sucks, Cammy. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Where's Roaring Kitty when you need him? Facts. Man, that's crazy. Well, let's see if there's any other news that maybe we're missing or any other updates. What? Somebody bought Atom on Binance at 0001? No way. I don't know if I believe some of this stuff. Yeah, he's saying looking glass, like prove it. Some people just BS the BS. We're currently experiencing issues affecting transactions, including deposits, buys, and sells on Uphold and Topper. Our team is actively working to resolve it. We appreciate your understanding. Like all crypto venues right now, we're experiencing heavy volume. Some tiles in the Uphold app are disabled while we prioritize trading. Wow. This is just like, this is just crazy, man. Look at this. Hyperliquid, a whale opened a short 30 minutes before Trump announced 100% tariffs on China. There it is. 30 minutes before. So like, unless you knew what the president was about to do, there's got to be somebody on the inner circle that played that well. Because like, how do you know what he's going to say until he jumps on? I don't know, man. Are they going to investigate themselves? Probably not. Probably not. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, man. Somebody somewhere, huh? I gotta love the crypto industry. Shouldn't they be able to track it, though? You would think. Every cycle, exchanges like Coinbase and Binance cite being multi-billion-dollar money-making machines, while crypto's ripping to all-time highs, their systems go down. Yeah, facts. I'm trying to build like a super video so I can explain this to everybody in like a very quick succession. Man, we have 4,257 people here. That's pretty crazy. There's 3,584 on X and 674 on YouTube. That's pretty insane. What's Pelosi buying? Yeah, I don't think she had anything to do with this one, unfortunately. Bitcoin OG already profited 160 million from shorting 1.1 billion Bitcoin and Ethereum. Was it the Jim Cramer curse? All right, guys, listen, I know that we could sit here for another 5 hours and talk about all this, but I do really want to make a video for my audience to go and explain all of these things in succession, what happened, so more people have a good understanding of what's going on here. I do appreciate all your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. I'm sorry that we had to spend this time on a day that's so challenging for each one of us. I do want to say, please zoom out. Please understand the technology is not broken. People are broken. People are greedy. People do anything to make money. But the technology itself is what we are here for, is what we are passionate about, is what we are investing in. So let's not get over, let's not let our emotions take control of our future. Our future is clear. Our future is set up. We just need to have the patience to sit back and actually get to that point where our crypto assets are worth more than we even could dream about. I do think we're getting ever so closer to that. Everything points to mass adoption of cryptocurrency, and you know, we're going to have more challenges ahead. How you handle those challenges and how you get through them and how you take advantage of those challenges will mean if you are a winner or a loser out here in the crypto space. All right. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for your time. Good luck. All right. I'll be here if you have any questions, comments. The channel is always here for you. Cryptonaires is here for you if you're interested in that kind of stuff. I'll see you guys. All right. Peace. I'm buying. Lewis, I'm buying. I bought. I'm buying. I appreciate you. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you, everybody who showed up. Peace.